Nets Kingdom.
Fuck that house now. I'm back. To the top, I'ma make it. Niggas just can't take it. To the top, I'ma make 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 it. Niggas just can't take it. Yeah.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy AJ. I'm here with Rage. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Nets Kingdom 1, and check out the articles on netskingdom.net. We have articles dropping there soon. So today we're going to talk about Bojan Bogdanović. I know the sexiest. We got that's the best name right there. That's the best, sexiest name on the Nets right now. Like, come on, Bojan. How could you not want to talk about Bojan, bro? How could you not?
Man, I saw the Mikal Bridges trade, and I was like, "Whoa, we got Bojan Bogdanović."
Let me read this article. Let me read this article about Bojan. So it says here, the Brooklyn Nets look to make a resurgence as a contender once again in a very competitive Eastern Conference. This offseason, the Nets traded for Bogdanović for their cross-borough rivals, the New York Knicks. In expected turn of events, Bojan has a tale of two halves of the season. He began the season on the Detroit Pistons and ended up on the Knicks, coming off the bench after he was traded to the Knicks during the deadline. The Knicks went on a conference semifinal run. Bogdanović lunged for a loose ball, tumbled onto the floor with his left foot getting tangled with Sixers forward Nicholas Batum. He checked in for about a minute during the Knicks' first round victory, and then he was basically depleted off the roster. I think they put him on the IR. But he had surgery this summer, and he had successful surgery to repair to his foot. I think he broke his foot. I'm not sure exactly what the exact injury was, but he had successful surgery this offseason. But yeah, bro, Bojan is like, we're coming down to it now. I think what is it, July 28th. So it's like training camp starts in October. I think we got the date that the Nets are going to do training camp in LA around October 7th. So training camp starts early October. We're literally basically in August right now. So Sean Marks has what, a month and a half if he wants to get rid of Bogey before the season. But what do you think is gonna happen before we get into like the in betweens about Bogey, like his stats and everything? What do you think was gonna happen with him right now?
Well, if I had to guess,
Yeah,
it's gonna be we just hold on to him. We know he's an expiring contract.
yeah,
It's just Bojan Bogdanović. He's coming off an injury. He's getting
mm,
older. Yeah, he still has some skill,
yeah,
and we might need some of it too, like just a little bit. We're not, we know our view on things. We're not trying to get too good, but
yeah,
he shouldn't sway us in any crazy thing. We'll be expiring. Probably
yeah,
just hold on to him. Won't have any crazy value, obviously, but could still have some there, I guess.
yeah.
Just kind of let him run out.
It says here in the
He's
article
making
that
19 mil. No one's gonna trade for him.
Yeah, it says here in the article that Jordy is expected to experiment with Bogdanović as both a bench player and a starter when the new season starts. That's the last thing they wrote in that Sports Illustrated article. What were Bogey's stats? I know he was averaging 10 after the Knicks. What was his stats for the year overall?
So overall for the year, I'll first mention that he was averaging 20 in Detroit before he averaged 10 in New York. He
20
started
Detroit.
27 games out of
Yeah.
28 in Detroit, which was a big part of, why he was able to get 20,
Mhm.
and didn't start any games for the Knicks, obviously. Did not start any games.
Yeah.
He averaged 15.2 points, 2.7 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 45.4% from the field, 39.8% from three, and 78.5% from the free throw line for the
Yeah.
year, and 57 games played combined.
Yeah. It's like he could still score. I know what is he, around 34, 35 years old. He could still efficient 3-point shooter. Like his metrics was really, really good going into this
Still
Knicks.
6'7" too.
Yeah, still
6'7".
6'7". I mean, I think what you're getting out of Bogey, if you're gonna get him on the team, in my head, I'm like, okay, so if Sean Marks does keep Bogey for, let's say we get to the halfway of the year and Bogey's still cooking from three, he's doing what he does best, getting off the bench and getting buckets, right? What contender in your mind do you think we could like finesse a deal to get? I mean, what do you think Bogey's worth is in the league right now, bro? Do you think you can get anything? You don't think he's long past the first round? So do you think what, a couple seconds and at least a young guy, or just some second salary dump kind of thing?
I'm definitely second salary dump kind of
Yeah,
thing. Maybe it's like a really unproven, like I think it'd
prospect.
probably just be another salary dump, but
Yeah,
with the picks, it'll probably 3 seconds can make sense.
yeah,
2 or
yeah,
3 seconds. Nothing too crazy. Who knows how well he plays, we'll see.
yeah,
Seeing that, teams are very hesitant to, like, trade for players now, but we're in free agency, and things can always trade during the trade or things can always change during
mhm,
the trade deadline.
yeah.
Especially for those teams, if you're like the Lakers or you're the Suns and you're like, "Oh,
Desperate, right? Yeah,
we gotta
I
make
think
because we're in the trade deadline and we gotta do something now."
it.
There are teams out there, the
Yeah, with like,
Lakers, Suns, watch out for those second apron teams that need to send back things and that need to send back essentially the same thing. It might not make the greatest, it might not make the most sense, but those are teams that you might actually be able to get value out of as well. And
yeah,
before then, if we don't move him, he's been on the Pistons. He was on the Pistons for quite a bit. Seems like he's all right with
yeah,
being on a tanking, rebuilding team and helping develop some young guys. But
yeah.
the Detroit situation is
Yeah,
different.
yeah. Let's give Bogey credit. He's been on the tank side before. We've seen Bogey go through a tank with the Pistons. So it's like, now that I think about it, it's like if Sean Marks keeps him, his value is probably teams don't want to trade for a guy that's making like 19. So his
Can't play
value is
defense
probably
at
so low
all, is hurt.
coming off surgery. Even like I said, if I can get Bogey for a vet min right now, that's a steal because like the Suns would love Bogey on their team. Miami Heat would love Bogey coming off the bench to score for like teams like that would love a guy coming off the bench that can shot create and score, give him a
Maybe
boost
he
off the
takes a
bench.
buyout. Maybe he takes a buyout
Yeah,
in the
Nuggets. So those
going in,
teams would
but
probably pick him up on a vet min. Like Sean like needs
yeah,
to.
no.
I think by the deadline, I think if you want to, you could possibly think about a buyout option. Now, I don't know the implications of how that works with salary, but buyout
As
might
much as
seem
I
the best
think with
way to
that,
do it. Mhm,
yeah, the buyout definitely could work out for us. We can get off some more money, and obviously even with that,
mhm.
you'll just eat up the rest whatever, you have to eat up just because it's like an expiring contract. You're not buying out a person on a 3-year deal.
Yeah, because we look
But
around the
you know
league,
what?
bro. All these teams that are young, like the teams that can absorb Bogey's contract, are like like the Magic, Spurs. Who else? Maybe like these teams like the Pistons. I don't think none of them really want Bogey back or want Bogey right now to absorb that
That's why I
contract.
was gonna mention with the buyout thing is that,
Mhm.
with teams like I said, the Lakers and the Suns, they're in the second apron. They're not getting buyout guys,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're right. They probably will get, yeah, because they won't let you get buyout if you're a second apron team.
right?
So
I mean, I maybe Lakers, but
yeah.
that's going into, the trade deadline.
Yeah. I think Laker fans would love a Bogey, to be honest. They would love a guy like they'll take anything at this point. Lakers will take any addition they could get.
They always get everybody.
Yeah.
Like, besides this year, they were always getting, it was like you were constantly seeing Rui, all these free agents. They
Yeah.
were killing all of these free agency classes, and it was
Yeah.
like,
For
okay,
vet men,
now they got to take a little step back. Maybe it's Bojan Bogdanovic time.
yeah, Bogdanovich for a vet min, I think any team, a bunch of contending teams would do it because they saw what he literally did on the Knicks. He was very potent on the Knicks. No, like Knicks fans would probably tell you, like, damn, he was before he went down in the playoffs, he was cooking. He was cooking, like legit cooking.
He's a,
So if
he has such an offensive bag too, and it's like
yeah,
it's at least it's much better to be a one-dimensional scorer than
yeah,
any other one-dimensional thing in the game of basketball. The
yeah,
one good thing is to be a dimensional. If you're a one-dimensional scorer, you'll have a spot in the league. Anything else, you
yeah,
might not.
yeah. Like I said, he can score at all three levels, very efficient from three. So we'll see what Sean does. Like I expect Bogey to still be here when the season starts. I think he'll be recovering. I think he's going to start off coming off the bench because of that surgery. But I mean, I expect Jody to eventually play him, get his value up. And if Sean can't finesse one from like, I mean, he did a good job of like salaries up in Mamadi Diakate. But if he can't salary dump Bogey, it's like, because the contract is expensive. he's probably gonna be here. It's either they buy him out or we just stick with him until next year and he's just off the books. That's what I'm thinking in my head.
Right.
But yeah, hit that like button. Follow us on Instagram at NestKingdom1. What do you think is gonna happen with Bogdanović, with Bojan? What do you think is gonna happen? Do you think Sean's gonna keep him? Do you think Sean could salary dump him? Do you think he's gonna get value for him? Or he's just one of those guys that you won't get value for, or you just have to buy out? Let us know in the comments. We'll be back. Appreciate you guys so much. It's Nest Kingdom.